Well, I deserve constant sense of panic and confusion all the time. It's crazy that, like, you have a complete statistical anomaly and you think that this is, like, a legit thing. It's so annoying that these people just go and cheat and rig elections. It's so obviously rigged. It is. Like, anytime that these people come out ahead, it's because they're cheating. That's why they want to get rid of, that's why they don't want to have voter ID. I think that they rigged the election. That's what I think happened. I think they rigged it. I think they're cheating, and I feel like it's going to be obvious. And keep in mind that you know, they're gonna respond to this and say I'm coping or something like that. Remember what you were saying when Nick Shirley exposed all of the fraud in Minnesota, and you said that Nick Shirley was just trying to go and record kids. And just recently, in the last 2 weeks, there have been convictions for the specific places that Nick Shirley called out because he knew that they were fraudulent. So these people, and because they will just literally lie to you. They will lie to you. They will tell you that, oh no, this is working as intended. This is completely normal. And hopefully we can have more patriots that will continue to rebuke these foreign invaders. And we can deport the rest of them.
4 days, and they aren't even close to coming up with it.
That's how they count.
You know why they're doing that? Because they're cheating.
That's how they count the votes. Yeah, no shit, you stupid bitch. That's the problem. That's the problem. Like, I'm sorry, but if I see the votes getting tallied up, look at this graph. Look at this graph for votes. Oh my God. Like, I mean, can you make it any more fucking obvious? Holy shit. I mean, really, this is insane. It's all in it. Yes, it's crazy.
Cheating on the election.
What, do you have evidence?
They're vote
to
botting.
All I have to do is look.
We gotta find it. We gotta find the evidence. And then you gotta deport everybody.
All I have to do is
that's
look.
not
and I
evidence.
listen. And I listen to people.
See, this is what a hag thinks. This is what that's the way a Karen thinks. Nah, bro, you look at something like that, you don't need to have evidence. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And you know what I think? Where there's fire, there's a fire. That shit's obvious. They stealing that shit 100%. Trump's right. I think he is. Like, I mean, really, why would you assume that these people are acting in good faith whenever they were allowing billions of dollars of fraud to go out the door? Why would you, for any reason, take their word on anything? Elon says the reason ID is banned in California and in New York elections is to enable large-scale fraud. When you combine no ID and mail-in voting, fraud is de facto legalized. That's right. And how the fuck do you not know this? How the fuck is this not obvious? Like, really, like, this is the thing, is that people like this think that you need to have some sort of fucking smoking gun. Nah, bro. Like, whenever everything that you do enables scamming and stealing and bullshit, the odds are that that's what you're doing, is scamming and stealing and bullshit. And ballot harvesting, yeah, anyone with eyes can see this. Exactly. Like, everybody knows this. We all see this. So African countries still use ID? Of course, right? That's smart.
So that was Asmongold just yesterday saying that he now believes in voter fraud. With the new election that is happening in Los Angeles, California, there is this new debate about if the election that took place in there is legit or it's not. Now, in this video, I am not going to talk specifically about that. This video is about the hypocrisy of Asmongold. So let's go and see what he believed and how he talked about voter fraud before. So you can see how this guy continually changes his postures for what it is convenient at the moment. Before it wasn't convenient to talk about voter fraud, but now it's convenient for him. So now he admits that voter fraud can happen. But let's see how he spoke before about voter fraud.
2020 was indeed rigged. I don't want to talk about that. I literally don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to argue it. I don't care. You think it's rigged? That's true. Go ahead. Humanity's only hope for decent people in the country is to rise out of our millions. We can't wait for the future rigged elections. So now all of the elections are rigged. Everything is fake. Every election is stolen. Like, oh my God, guys. This is where we're at now. They're all fake. They're all stolen. That's it. Wow. I don't even know what to say. And stop the count. Yeah, I guess so, right? And wow. And the left turn right, I guess, yeah, I thought, well, this is what happened in 2016. They all said, oh, Russia. That's what I always thought was so ironic about the 2020 election, like, you know, Trump saying that it was stolen, and people be like, oh, you can't say that. People said that about Trump for 4 years. It was such a common thing.
Making sure that they're winning elections, right? There's the people who in 2020, they thought the election was stolen in every state, basically,
True.
but they still showed up to vote next time. So something is happening there where they're really big on going out and winning elections. And I think
to be fair, people said that the 2016 election was rigged by Russia, and they still came back and they voted in record numbers for Biden. I think that ever since the 2016 election, every election has been fake. That's it. Every election is fake. Every election is rigged. People were saying that even the 2024 election was rigged. And what else can you do? Yeah, I know, right? But that's what I'm saying. They're still saying it? I'm just saying, right? That's the reason. I disagree with that. I don't think any of the elections were rigged, and I think that people are just coping with losing. That's what I think.
And specifically Fulton County, a target of his complaints relating to the 2020 election. Shortly after that election, Trump spoke to...
If Trump was right about the election being stolen, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I really don't. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Georgia's Secretary of State.
Do you think there's fraud in 2020? I think that if there was fraud, it didn't influence the outcome of the election. I don't think that fraud caused Trump to lose.
Raffensperger said he felt pressure from Trump and denied any widespread election fraud. He continues to deny it to this day. Now, Fulton County District Attorney Bonnie Willis brought state criminal...
You don't think the Biden spike was weird? Brought state...
Wait a minute!
It's crazy that, like, you have a complete statistical anomaly, and you think that this is, like, a legit thing. Look at this graph. Look at this graph for votes. Oh my God. Like, I mean, can you make it any more fucking obvious? Holy shit. I mean, really, this is insane. It's all in it up. Yes, it's crazy.
Charges again, then former President Trump and others in 2023 for conspiracy to overturn the election. But her prosecution, Brett, was eventually derailed.
You doubted him the whole time?
After
I did.
It was revealed she had
I
an
doubted him the whole time.
relationship with the top prosecutor on her team, and it could have tainted the case. Late last year, a judge dismissed the case in its entirety. Now, Brett, last month, the Justice Department sued Fulton County, Georgia, seeking access to 2020 voting records after state officials allegedly failed to respond to a subpoena. Fox News has learned the head of the FBI's Atlanta field office was recently forced out in recent days, but it's unclear, Brett, if this is all related.
Man, I wonder, how do you explain the Biden spike? Simple, it's just a reporting error. Like, a lot of times the way that different voting is reported is it gets reported in chunks. So, like, it was basically the spike was observed by media, and media is not the primary source of the information. It's a secondary source of the information. So when there is a secondary aggregation source that has a big increase, it could just be because the polls are running low or something like that. That's the reason why I don't immediately believe it. Odd, that's what the media said? Yeah, I believe the media with that. That's what I think happened.
Yeah, I believe the media with that. That's what I think happened.
I think that's a plausible defense.
First, you pushed out on social media about doing away with mail-in ballots and potentially...
Oh, God. Mail-in ballots. Here we go again.
The mail-in voting. We're going to end mail-in voting.
Wow.
It's a fraud. If you have mail-in vote, even Jimmy Carter with this commission, they set it up. He said the one thing about mail-in voting, you will never have an honest election if you have mail-in.
The thing is that, like, I don't know if mail-in voting, does that, like, does that fuck over Democrats more? I have no idea. Yeah, I mean, that's it. So many targets. Yeah, Trump's saying both sides cheated in the election, but they cheated more, so they won. Well, I mean, in general, I mean, I don't really have like a super, like, basically my outlook on it is I don't know whether mail-in ballot, like I am of the mindset that I think we should do as many things as possible to stop people from voting. I think most people that vote are retarded. And I think that if we could do more things and put up more hurdles and speed bumps for people to vote, that would be good. Because most people that vote are retards. And so I don't want to have that happen. Straight up. Like, if I could figure out like a way to stop 80% of the population from voting, I would do it. Whoever the president is, I will support the president. I supported Biden. If Kamala Harris was the president, I'd support her too. You supported Biden as president? I did. And you can go back and find clips of me saying the same thing. Of course I supported Biden. I thought it was I thought it was very unfair, and you know, Biden, for better or for worse, was a public servant for 50 years.
So as you can see, Asmongold previously was very against people saying that voter fraud even was possible. He mocked constantly people that dared to say that they had doubts about the 2020 election in the US. So now all of a sudden he made one of his typical 180s that he does. He always does this, and now he all of a sudden believes that voter fraud can happen. And you know why? It's because it's convenient for him right now. Before it was inconvenient. Before, you have to understand that not only there was more censorship about the possibility of elections being stolen or being rigged, but these days is a bit more open. Like I said, this is not a video about my opinions on if it happened or if it didn't happen. This is a video in which I want you to see. The purpose of this video is I want you to see how Asmongold switches his opinions like a grifter, because he is a grifter, and he will constantly change his postures depending on what is convenient for him at that very moment. And before, talking about election fraud and all of that topic was very taboo, very forbidden, and obviously he wasn't going to agree with it, not in his streams, etc., because it was seen in bad light, essentially. And also, you have to understand that it was the previous administration. Now that Trump is back in, now he can grift for Trump. Now he is in full grift mode pro-Trump. Before, he wasn't. Before, he maybe had some favorable opinions on Trump, but he was talking about Trump as if he was a crazy lunatic. But now, since Trump is back in, now all of a sudden he supports Trump completely, etc. Before, for him talking about the elections being rigged or the possibility of elections being rigged was basically and essentially a conspiracy theory, and he hates conspiracy theorists. So now that it's popular to talk about voter fraud, especially with the things that are happening in Los Angeles, now it's popular to say that there is a possibility that elections are being rigged. In fact, he doesn't even say there is a possibility. He outright says it happened. And he says that you don't need any proof whatsoever. You don't need any proof because anyone with eyes can see. Well, in the past, he was one of those people that constantly demanded his chat. Whenever a chatter said that he believed that the 2020 election was stolen, he constantly said to the chatters, "What is the evidence? Where is your evidence? Show me the evidence that voter fraud happened in 2020. Oh, but now all of a sudden, he doesn't need any proof whatsoever. Nobody needs proof anymore. Because now it's very convenient to accept the fact that voter fraud happened in Los Angeles for some reason. For some reason, you don't need evidence this time. This is my issue with Asmongold, and this is why I work to expose him. Because I believe he's doing great damage to the population. Because he is grifting, he's using people, his followers, to gain something out of them. He has a goal, he has a personal goal, and he is using this grifting to achieve that personal goal that he has. Because if you haven't seen my previous videos where I expose Asmongold, you need to understand that Asmongold is an actual psychopath. His dad was diagnosed with psychopathy.
And then also, like, he even tried to join these, like, private military mercenary groups. Like, apparently he had to lie on his what do you call it? He had to lie on his like military intake form because they weren't going to take him because they said he was like a psychopath.
Because they weren't going to take him because they said he was like a psychopath.
Because they were gonna station him stateside because there were a bunch of like protests going on like now, and they said, would you ever fire on an American citizen? He said, if somebody throws a brick at me, I'm going to. And then they sent him to Vietnam. Straight up. And so so it was around the Vietnam War. Yeah, his psych evaluation, he has a lie in his psych evaluation. And so that's why I found funny, you know, people saying like, oh, your dad would be disappointed in you saying this, like, oh, if only you knew.
Oh, if only you knew.
He admits having behaviors that align with the diagnostic of being a psychopath.
You know precisely what to say whenever you interview total strangers? Well, it's because, let me think of a way to put it. Like, whenever I interact with people, I don't really a lot of times like see them as people. I just see them as like a resource that I use to get what I want.
I don't really a lot of times like see them as people. I just see them as like a resource that I use to get what I want.
I think that I am a fallen angel, and the reality is that of all the people, this is what I really believe, is that I think that I am one of the only people that is truly virtuous, and a lot of other people are not. They are not virtuous. They pretend to be. And the reason why, ego stroke, no, I'm being serious about this. I really think this about myself. And I will explain the reason why. It's because I don't really, like, this is going to sound like a psycho thing to say.
This is going to sound like a psycho thing to say.
But like a lot of empathy and sympathy and human emotions don't come naturally to me. They just don't. Like, I remember whenever I would hit somebody in the face when I was a kid, I would think that shit was funny, bro. Like, I was like, damn, bitch, that's what you get. That's, gotcha, bitch. And they be crying, bleeding. I think that shit is hilarious.
And they be crying, bleeding. I think that shit is hilarious.
And so the way that I've learned the way that other people feel is not through how I feel. It's through how other people feel. And it's through logic and reason. And that's the reason why I think that I'm a better advocate for this, is because I don't see it through the lens of emotion. It's engineered logically. And that's what it is. Huh, you fucking roach? No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Like, that's actually what it was. And yeah, did man just admit he's a sociopath? Oh, I don't know, maybe I am. Like, I don't know. Like, people told me that. Like, they said a lot worse about that than, like, they said a lot worse about that than me. Like, I mean, that's what it was. So I mean, but at the end of the day, like, you know, I don't really think that I'm that crazy. I think the world is crazy, if you want me to be honest. I think the world is crazy, and I'm the only one that's not crazy. So, you know, like, that's it. And that's sort of how psychopaths operate. Well, either way, that's the reason, that's what makes me the most virtuous person.
So, whatever goal he hasn't revealed it yet, and I doubt he's going to ever reveal it. Asmongold relies on the lack of intellect of his audience. Asmongold relies in the lack of memory of his audience. He relies on people just believing what he is saying at the very moment. But if you have a bit more brain cells than the average NPC, you will realize that Asmongold constantly switches his opinions. If you remember anything that he has said previously, you are going to realize that he's constantly contradicting previous postures that he had in the past. That is why he is a grifter, and he does this on purpose. Remember, he says, always lie, always cheat, always deceive. He always gloats about how easy it is for him to manipulate people and how he has been doing it for years. So,
like my grandpa said, lie, cheat, and deceive. If you get caught, deny it. That's right. Always lie. always lie, always cheat, always take advantage of whatever you can. Be a roach. Roaches survive. I've lied to people my whole life. People that think that they're really smart, no, they're not. It's easy. So all you have to do is figure out how a person's brain works, and then you can figure out how to manipulate them. It's very easy. You don't have to be right. You just have to have people think that you're right. And so really, like, and that's why it's important to, like, speak with confidence about things. It's more important how you say things than what you say in a lot of cases. And it's also more important how you communicate than what you communicate. Like, the way to manipulate and get people to, like, think the way that you think and to believe what you believe, there's a science to it, really. I mean, really, genuinely, there is a science to it. Like, I've always been, like, one of those people, right? Where, like, I would try to, like, you know, fucking move things in my favor. I lie to people all the time. I was a kid. That's how I can see it. That's how I know it. Because I know it because I do it. I know it because I've been doing it for a while. Like, I've been doing it for my whole life. I was lying and shit when I was 5 years old. I was breaking my instruments, guilt-tripping my teachers, telling them that I couldn't afford a new one. And then, because I didn't want to play a musical instrument in music class in 3rd and 4th grade, bro. Like, I've been in this for the love of the game for my whole life. And I see these people that are casuals getting into it. And a lot of these girls, like, y'all don't know how to do it. Y'all don't know how to manipulate people. You don't know how to lie.
If you believe any word that comes out of Asmongold's mouth, you are a dumb fuck. You are very dumb. And like I said also in my previous videos, the reason why I make these videos exposing him is because, not precisely because I have some hatred towards Asmongold, even though I obviously don't agree and dislike this behavior of him. The thing that I hate the most is his fanboys, his fanatics. Because if you are new to my channel, the thing that I hate the most is fanaticism. I hate fanaticism, and most of my content is against fanaticism. All kinds of fanaticism, I fucking hate them. And being a fanatic of Asmongold, I fucking hate you. If you are a fanatic of these streamers, of these influencers. And the hatred I have towards these fanatics is what motivates me to expose Asmongold. Because if Asmongold was just a lunatic that he was talking to maybe 1k people or less, I wouldn't even give a fuck. But he speaks to a lot more of people. Now, I also believe that he is a view voter. I have exposed him in the past for view voting. I do believe that Asmongold and all of these streamers, not only just him, all of them, are being massively inflated with fake views. All of them. I don't believe any of these people are getting anything close to what they say they get. I don't believe Asmongold has like 20k views daily. I don't believe so. I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. At best, I think he gets like 5k. At best. Because I don't think these streamers, these influencers are as famous. I don't think so. I just don't. So I want to keep this video shorter than the rest of the videos where I expose him. But in short, previously Asmongold believed that any talk about voter fraud was essentially a lunatic conspiracy theorist idea. Now, all of a sudden, he switched completely and now he's on board with believing that elections can actually be rigged and stolen. Now, previously he also said and demanded evidence to anyone that dared to say that the 2020 election was stolen. But now, all of a sudden, he doesn't give a fuck about evidence. He doesn't care. In fact, he says that you don't even need evidence to prove that there is voter fraud. That only with your eyes is enough to see that there is voter fraud. So what happened? What changed? I am telling you what changed. What changed was the narrative. What changed was the trends. The trends are now different. So he had to switch his narrative. He wants to be in the White House. He wants to have some sort of influence. He wants to be close to this new administration, to the Trump administration. He wants to be close to them for some reason. It's unknown to me, but it's related towards his goal. So what is my recommendation? Think for yourself. Use your brain. Whenever these streamers, and in particular, whenever Asmongold says something, write it. If you can't save the clip, write it. And then see if his opinions are consistent. Do it for yourself. Do this exercise on your own and you will see how many times he will change and switch his opinions. You will see it. You don't need someone like myself to say this to you. You can do it yourself. So don't believe Asmongold.